Hello everyone. Uh, so once again we are over here with Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scene 1. As we have seen, Portia is the main lead female character. By now we have known that, and we have also known that she has been under the pressure of the casket theory as devised by her father. Now, this particular scene opens in Portia's room. The three caskets are there in the room, and the sound of cornets, that's a kind of bugle, and that announces the entry of the Prince of Morocco. The prince enters with the followers and attendants. Portia, her maid Nerissa, and other attendants are also there in the room. In this particular scene, you will see that how the Prince of Morocco will try to choose a casket, and how his life will change as he will choose the wrong casket. As we know, Morocco is a country somewhere very near to equator, so the people of Morocco are generally black. So the black prince asked the lady Portia not to judge him by his color or the black complexion, his because his blood is as red as anybody else, and he even boasts of his royal blood and says that the best of the virgins of his country would love to marry him. Portia tells him that she can be won only by the casket theory, and she can do nothing, and she does not have any problem with the complexion. She also tells him that he can go for the casket, or she can he can go for his choice of the casket after the dinner, and the scene ends there. Now let us go uh, line wise as per the scene, and rather this is an interesting scene, so let's go it line by line. Act 2, Scene 1. The place is Belmont. Enter Morocco. Tony Moore, all in white, and three or four followers, accordingly with Portia, Nerissa, and their trained flourish cornets. So this is a room in Portia's house at Belmont. Flourish of cornet, as I said, bugle, and enters the Prince of Morocco with his attendants. At the same time, Portia enters with Nerissa and her other maids. There are already certain attendants in the room. Now, first comes the dialogue of Morocco. Mislike me not for my complexion, the shadowed livery at the burnest sun. Bring me the fairest creature northward born, where the Phobos fire scares thaws the isles. So Morocco says, Dear lady, don't dislike me for my black complexion. Mislike me not for my complexion. So don't dislike me for my complexion. The shadowed livery of the burnest sun. So the shadowed over here means dark, and livery means the dress. So this dark dress that I wear, that is the dark complexion that I have of the burnest sun, that is the hot sun, to whom I am the neighbor. To whom I am the neighbor means, since it is a country very near to the equator where we get the direct sun rays. And near bread, bring me the fairest creature northward born, where Phobos fire scares thaw the others. So he says that you can compare me to anyone, and sun has been our neighbor. I have been born in the northern country near the sun, that is near the equator. Bring me a man who has been born in the most northern country where the fire of the sun can hardly melt the ice. Phobos over here refers to sun, and Isles refers to the ice. That is the any northern countries or the polar countries where the half of the place are ice covered, where sun hardly reaches. Okay, and let us make incision for your love to prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine. So he directly over here challenges Portia that you can, bring any northbound person and let us compare ourselves, me and that person. Both of us has the same red blood. To prove whose blood is reddest, his or mine, I tell this lady, this aspect of mine hath feared the valiant. So he further says that I assure you, lady, this dark complexion has created fear in the bravest man. So he boasts of his bravery. By my love, I swear, the best regarded virgins of our clime have loved it too. I would not change this who except to still your thoughts, my gentle queen. So he says that the best virgins of my country are always ready to get married to me. So he further says that I would not change this dark skin for anything in this world except to win over your love. That is Portia's love. That is my gentle queen. Now, Portia, she is very gentle and she says, in terms of choice, I'm not solely led. So it's not my choice. I cannot choose anyone. By nice direction of a maiden's eyes beside the lottery of my destiny. So I cannot choose anyone as a girl. My destiny has to be chosen by this lottery bars me the right voluntary choosing. But if my father had not scanted me and hedged me from this wit availed myself, his wife who wins me by the means I told you, yourself renowned prince, then stood as fair as any comer I had looked on yet for my affection. So she says that further, if I would say that my father has, beset this lottery, but if I was given the right to choose, then I would have treated you equally as any other suitor and would not have discriminated you on the basis of your color. Morocco. Even for that I thank you. Therefore, I pray you lead me to the caskets to try my fortune by the scimitar that slew the Sophie and the Persian prince. So Morocco's thanks Portia for not discriminating him, rather saying those kind words. And he further says that I swear by this word which killed the king. He says that he swears by his scimitar, that is by his sword, by which he has killed the king of Persia and that won three fields of Sultan Suleiman. I would oversteer and sternest eyed at low cover, brave the heart most daring on the earth. He also says that he has also won three battles against Sultan Suleiman and he had frightened the most powerful men on the earth, that is Sultan Suleiman. Pluck the young suckling cubs from the she bear. He also says that he has the guts to pluck the suckling bear from the mother bear. Yeah, mock the lion when he rose for prey. So he boasts of his bravery, what he could have done, and he had done. So he had already killed the prince of Persia. He has frightened the Sultan Suleiman. He could have the guts to pick up the baby sucking cubs from the mother bear. He could, mock the lion when he is looking for the prey, when the lion is most dangerous, in order to win Portia. But alas, the while, if Hercules and Lichess play at dice, which is the better man, the greater throw? Many turn by fortune from the weaker hand. But alas, this is unfortunate. If it is a game of dice, as was played by Hercules and Lichess. Hercules and Lichess was his page, his servant. Hercules, no doubt, is the very strong man, was rather the strongest man on the earth, but he was defeated by his page in the game of dice, because game of dice is merely a game of luck in which Hercules lost and his servant won. So nothing could be done if your luck is not with you. So similar thing, he says, can happen to me. I might be very strong, I might be very brave, but if the luck doesn't support me, then I can't help. Many turn by fortune from the weaker hand. So is Aeschylus beaten by the page, and so may I, blind fortune leading me, miss that which my worthier may attain, and die with grieving. So as Hercules was beaten by his own page, by his own servant in the game of luck, so might I can also. So in that case, I may die because of grief. Now Portia says, you must take your chance and either not attempt at all. So it's your choice. Either you take a chance or you should not attempt at all. Or swear before you choose. If you choose a wrong, never to speak to lady afterward. In way of marriage, thereof be advised. So Portia says it's your choice. You may take a chance or you may not attempt at all. But if you choose a wrong casket, then without saying a word, you should leave this place. So be careful before taking your decision. Now Morocco say, nor will not come, bring me onto my chance. So Morocco says, no, I have already thought about it. I will attempt the casket lottery. Portia, first forward to the temple. After dinner, your hazard shall be made. So Portia said, let's advance towards the temple, take the blessings of the god, let's have the dinner, and then you can go for the casket lottery. Morocco, good fortune then, to make me blessed or cursed among men. So he said, okay, it is in your hand. Either you bless me with the good fortune or curse like the other suitors. So finally, there are sounds of trumpet and they all leave. So we see in this scene that there were many suitors, as we have seen. Most of the suitors went away without even attempting the casket lottery. The first suitor that had attempted was the Prince of Morocco. Finally, in the coming scenes, we will see some other suitors also coming in. And in the next scene, coming scenes, we will also see what Morocco chooses and how he feels. Thank you.